Welcome back. We're here to preview Saturday afternoon's Premier League game between Burnley and Swansea. Now we'll start with the Swans. They come into this off the back of a good 2-1 win over Man U.
Yeah, it was obviously massive morale booster for them. They hadn't been in the greatest of form at home, and I think one that stands out for me. They lost 5-0 at Chelsea, didn't they, a few weeks ago? And another big team coming to the stadium, and United obviously went 1-0 up, but I think it was the quick response from Key, wasn't it, that was important. I mean, United, they had a lovely goal and they were playing some decent stuff in the final third, but Swansea responded straight away, gets the crowd up, doesn't it? Second half was dominated by United for long spells, had a lot of the ball, not too many chances, but you always felt if someone was going to win it, it was going to be the away side. But then obviously they get the goal with Shelby that was deflected him off Gomez, which is slice of luck you need. But obviously to win that game is important because, like I said, they weren't in the best form, and obviously to beat United, who were in decent form. They'd only lost. Louis van Gaal spoke about in his press conference about they were the form team, and they were. So to win that game, very important for them.
So you look at their position in the table; they're ninth in the table now. 8 points off the top six, which is probably the best they can hope for this season. Maybe sneaking into the Europa League spots, but I think if they can just cement their place in the top half the rest of the season, I think that'll be a good finish for them because they lost their best player in Bonnie, in the January transfer window to Man City, and then obviously Gylfi Sigurdsson, he was out for a long time through suspension. He came back, that was his first game back against Man U. So obviously him being back will be a big boost. They haven't really got any injuries. I think Kyle Bartley's the only one on their sort of treatment table, so. They've got a healthy squad to pick from. Obviously, Gary Monk can maybe. So they're obviously pretty safe from relegation. They're a long way clear of the drop zone. He can sort of maybe experiment a little bit if he wants to. We said before about, I think it was wise that they didn't go and splurge the money. In January they can sort of save it and identify the areas they really want to sort of improve in the summer. But I think if they do want to try and make a run for the top six, these next three games are really big for a start. Burnley, that's a team they'll really want to beat. And then they have Spurs and Liverpool in the next two. After obviously two of the sides, above them, but not in the top four, but two of the sides above them. So there are three massive games coming up, and they've got to start with a win here against a Burnley side, obviously in the bottom three.
Burnley, let's say you're in the bottom three, but massive result last time out of Chelsea. Not too many teams go to Chelsea and get anything. I think it's City the only ones this season, weren't they, before that game? So to go to Chelsea and to go 1-0 down as well, with Ivanovic getting on the score sheet as well. Obviously, there's talking points that Mourinho brought up in terms of penalties and tackles and stuff like that. But looking at just the actual game, as in Burnley coming back, was great, wasn't it? Obviously, got the goal, Ben Mee header, and they had a chance to win it later on. I think Danny Ings, didn't he? Went through. I mean, he might have found a pass to the left, but decided to go alone. Maybe should have passed, but to get a point there, like I say, and they played at United as well. We've lost 3-1, but they actually played really well in that game. And you're thinking, like we said, we spoke about their run of fixtures. They played Liverpool, City, Southampton, Spurs, Arsenal, Everton. Like we said, we spoke about it, wouldn't we? That's a terrible run. But I mean, they can look at it the other way. They can go and attack these teams rather than just sitting back and thinking, well, they're playing Swansea in this one, and if they're going to get out, like I say, they're going to have to win this game, I think, because they are still in the bottom three, although they're definitely in with a shout of getting out.
Definitely, like you say, their run of fixtures at the moment is terrible, isn't it? And this game against Swansea, I think there's a lot of pressure on them for this game. I think, and you worry that it might sort of be a bit too much for them because all the other fixtures, you'd expect them to lose every single one, but at home to Swansea, you might just fancy them here. But obviously, the real big talking point from that Chelsea game, unfortunately, it wasn't about Burnley's good comeback and only being the second team to take points off Chelsea this season. It was that Ashley Barnes tackle. And, it is, I think, for me personally, I don't think it's as bad as the Chelsea camp are making it out to be. Obviously, they released a statement earlier this week saying they're appalled at the FA's decision, not to punish Barnes any further. But he definitely he won the ball first, and then his foot didn't really deviate from where. Once he won the ball, it stayed in the same place. And I think if he hadn't sort of lent into the Matic, then it wouldn't have looked so bad. But I don't think it's as bad as the Chelsea camp are making it out to be. Obviously, it looks horrendous in the slow mo when you see him going into his leg and sort of almost bending Matic's leg, but. Matic, in that sort of situation, you're a professional footballer, you've got to try and keep your tempers down. I think, the 3-match ban was harsh for just pushing him over. They've reduced it to 2 since then. But I think it's just unfortunate for Burnley that they go to Stamford Bridge. Even after Chelsea went down to 10 men, most people would have still backed them to go on and win the game, given the quality that Chelsea have against a Burnley side who, they did amazing in the Championship last year, came up, didn't really strengthen their squad. And, since that really bad start to the season when they couldn't score a goal, they've looked pretty good recently. Obviously, they're still in the bottom three, but only goal difference separates them from QPR in 17th, and then it's another 3 points to Sunderland in 16th. So they're definitely in the relegation, in with a chance of getting out of it. But this game is really a must-win for them.
You're looking at the bottom four teams, and you're probably thinking it's going to be 3 from the bottom 4 at the moment. You're looking at teams above them like Hull, who I think have won back-to-back games now, and Sunderland. I think just might be all right. So you're looking at the teams at the moment, bottom 4, 3 of them are probably going to go down, isn't it? So it's going to be massively important.
Definitely. What's your score prediction for this one then?
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't it? Burnley back at home. I mean, their home form's not been great. They've won 3 times, lost 5 times, and Swansea's away form's not been great either, lost 6 times. So I can see a draw in this one, to be honest. I'm about 1-1.
I'm going to back a draw as well, but I'm going to say more goals. I'm going to go 2-2. So both going for draws in this one. Thanks for watching.